Hey, what up, team? It's Joe Mill here with Killer Miller Q. We are back for another good cook. Today, I'm going to bring you a little bit of love from the islands. We're going to be making some Caribbean jerk chicken on the Lone Star offset. Of course, we're going to do this Killer Miller style. We're not going to waste no time. Let's get right to it. Cut that music. We're gonna get into this two-part process on getting this chicken ready, and we're gonna get to this jerk game. First thing that we're gonna do is break down this whole chicken. Alright, so first things first, I got my whole chicken here. Nice whole white young chicken. I've already cleaned this off at least one time, but I know it's gonna have to go back through again, and this is gonna be the star of our show today as we putting together our jerk. So the first thing that we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna break this thing down into fours. So pretty much what I want to do is I got my kitchen shears, the ones that I dedicate to nothing but my chicken, and I'm just gonna cut right outside of the backbone, and come on, cut through that on both sides, and then we're gonna remove that backbone. Figure I'll let you see it all getting broke down. Hopefully don't add on too much to the length of this video, but sometimes this is good stuff that I'll be taking out. Alright, so we got that backbone taken out. Now, some people like to actually eat this. Some people actually will go ahead and use this to make chicken stock, whatever have you. For me, I will be tossing this thing. So I'm just going to toss it over to the side. Got some good stuff left up in here. So pretty much what I already did was I gave it a one time on the washing. Once I break it all down, we'll be finishing this thing and then washing it out again. So I'm gonna get rid of some of this extra fat that I don't necessarily need. I'll flip it over so you can also, let me see, you can see it down here. These big pockets of fat, I don't need that. That's no meat, and all it's gonna do is end up dropping off to give me a big blazing flame. We'll flip this over just so you can kind of see the chicken like you probably used to seeing it. So when I say we're going to be doing it in four parts, basically I'm going to end up doing the leg quarters, and I'm going to split this breast right down the middle, and I'm going to leave the wings right on there. With that light meat cooking so fast, I want to make sure that by staying together, it has a chance to maybe cook evenly with the dark. So I'm just going to make a nice cut right here along the side. As you can see, there's a mean groove, so I mean it shouldn't be too hard for you to find it. Boom. There's one of them off. Got him open. We'll do the same thing on this side. I cut my breast a little bit. No big deal. And let's remove my leg quarter. Okay. And again, we're just going to be getting rid of some of this extra. Some of that extra fat that I don't need. I'm going to clean out of here in a second. Alright, I'm going to clean these babies up, so I'm pretty much down to chicken. So all of that yellowish looking fat, I'm going to be cleaning that out along with that, all of that hanging extra skin. I don't need that either. So yellowish fat, I'm going to clean some of that out, and I'm going to get rid of a little bit of this hanging skin. And I'm going to clean these quarters up by the time you come back and see me on the next go round. So I want you to check them out now so you can see. As you can see, this one's kind of flipped backwards, all that extra skin. Some of that I'll get rid of. Right? And then all that nastiness, get rid of some of them little bits. We'll get rid of a lot of this. So a lot of that won't have to be there dripping onto my grill. From there, the next thing that we're going to do is I'm just going to make a nice straight line. Let's see if I can do this without dropping my phone. Right down the middle of that breast. Okay, as you can see, I went and got these cleaned up. Maybe it took a good 5 minutes or so for me to go ahead and clean these up a little bit. I'll see what it looks like on this side. Still left a little bit of that fat. I didn't want to tear into them too much, but got rid of a little of this extra skin hanging around and cleaned them up a little bit for what it's worth. And gave him another clean and rinsing through and everything. And one of those secrets to making this jerk chicken is we want to cook this with the skin on. If you want to take your skin off once we get done cooking it, you can do that. But the skin is going to protect it initially on as we're going through and kind of doing a jerking process. So first thing that I want to do, and I'll see what I can do with one hand, is I got me a nice fresh lemon. I'm out of lemons on my tree, so unfortunately this one wasn't one of mine. I did get those seeds out of there, or at least most of them. There go one. Get that out of there. And all we're going to be doing is getting a nice lemony flavor all over this chicken. Nice citrus base. And I'm also going to flip it and I'm going to rub down that other side on there too. The next thing we're going to be bringing in, and we're going to be basically dry seasoning this chicken up, and we're going to put it to the side, and then we're going to put together our wet brine. So with our dry seasoning that we're going to put on this chicken, basically I'm going to be salting the chicken. I'll be coming with some of this Jamaican ground allspice, which is basically our pimento. And then we got some Eaton's dry jerk seasoning, and that's from the source right there. This is some good stuff. Okay, so pretty much, let me switch my other hand out, and I'm about to give this a nice layer, and I'll let you check it out. I am about to take my glove now, and we're about to rub this in. And then from there, I'll flip it over, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing to the other side. And it should look a little something like this. So now we got this chicken all seasoned up. I'm just kind of making sure that we got something on all these crevices. Everybody's getting a little bit of this love. Using up what's left on my cutting board. You know, normally I'm always trying to keep this thing pretty here. We're just trying to get flavor. So as long as we get it on there, it's gonna have plenty of time to sit in this and to get pretty. And we're gonna make sure that we got flavor to the bone, as they say. All right, so now I'm just about to slide this over to the side. Throw this right back into my, bam, it's looking good. Right back over here in my Tupperware. Get all that lemon juice and all them good seasonings right out of there. We're gonna do a quick cleanup, and then we're gonna slide over and get to our wet rub. All right, family. So I went ahead and took the liberty of getting all our ingredients together. We got about 19 ingredients. Nothing too crazy. So, I mean, don't let that intimidate you. And literally, other than me trying to make it pretty for y'all and taking the time to kind of put it over here in these individual containers and kind of break everything out, it really isn't too much. I mean, all we're going to be doing is getting it together. If you got you a good old blender, that's pretty much what we're going to go with. But I'm going to go through. Remember, this is a base, this is a guide. Make this your own. This is your jerk marinade. As long as you got some of the traditionals in that you gotta have, which would be, this should be Scotch bonnet peppers, but I can't find none of those around here. Believe me, I tried. So pretty much I got his cousin. I got some habanero peppers. You're definitely gonna want some of this fresh thyme. And this right here is the truth. These are pimento. Look at all my calluses. Many times I done washed my hands already playing around with that chicken. Don't worry, I'll be in the gym later. So this is a pimento berry right here, or an allspice berry, whichever you might see. But those is what gives you all that beautiful flavor and everything in there. Other than that, a lot of these other things you might see on some recipes, might not see on some of the others, but they will be in the Killer Miller Q jerk today. We're gonna start with some vinegar. We got a 1/4 cup of that. 1/4 cup of white regular vinegar. I got a tablespoon of soy sauce that'll be going in here. I know this one won't all come out, so I'll probably have to come back with my spatula. I got a tablespoon of honey right here. This is going to actually help us out with some of that heat that's going to be in here to turn it around and make it actually somewhat sweet. I'm not going to worry too much on this right now. I got a little small spatula that we're going to come back, and believe me, I'm getting all the rest of that. We got some browning. If you don't know much about this browning, this is going to basically give us a little bit of color. Didn't need too much. I'm only using a teaspoon of this. It's got some flavor to it, but really this is for the color. After that browning, I got another teaspoon of nutmeg. telling you, man, even before you put this thing together, everything tastes beautiful. One of the next things we're going to be doing is nice fresh lime. Another one that's unfortunately not from my tree. My tree ain't ready over there today yet, but it won't be long. I should have me some limes on the tree. One thing that's nice too, you don't got to worry about no seeds with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all of this fresh lime juice that I can get out of both halves. So one full lime. Give me that one too. That we're going to put in here and give us a nice citrus acid in there. Really help break that meat down and give us some zing in there. This actually gave us quite a bit. Okay. The next thing after that lime, I mixed these together as I was running short. Like I said, you got your allspice or your pimento in here, your pimento seeds. I also have in here, not too many, but just a little bit of some black peppercorns, probably about 10 to 12 small little peppercorns. And they always look similar, but they're much smaller and dried up looking compared to, you can kind of see some in there, compared to the pimentos, which are a little bit more round and bigger. All of those are going in. Next thing, fresh ginger. I like organic. I took the time, used a spoon, got rid of that little bit of skin, and then I just kind of chop it up a little bit. Ginger's pretty hard, kind of fibrous, so it'll just kind of help the process out. And we pretty much went with like, I don't know, about a 3-inch piece. They'll usually tell you like around as big as your thumb, something like that. The next thing that we're gonna be adding in is some olive oil. I got 2 tablespoons of that going in. It's just gonna help the overall mixing process, help a lot of my seasonings not to get too stuck, and it'll also help when it's time for me to throw my meat on, of course. The next thing you got is a teaspoon of ground cloves. And it's smelling like Christmas around here. All this nutmeg, allspice, and cloves, and all that good stuff. Next thing that you got, we already added the pimento seeds. I told you I couldn't find Scotch bonnet peppers, which are the close cousins of these habaneros, which is what I'm gonna use. These are 2 habaneros. I chopped them up a little bit. I deveined them, meaning I took out all the white spots out of it, as well as took out all the seeds. That's where the heat's at. So definitely wanted to get that out. And I took a chance where I'm gonna go with 2. I damn near went with 1, but we're gonna find out. They say it ain't no jerk if it don't got a little kick to it. So I said, let's give it a little kick. I'll make sure I get them last couple pieces out of there too. I don't want to use my hands. Next thing we got, and again, I was running out of spots, so I put in, you need a pinch of salt. So you see that salt in there. Other than that, I also have some brown sugar right here. This is 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and my pinch of salt going in. I mean, all we're doing is dumping and going. From there, this was basically about a bunch of the spring onions, or you might see them also referred to as scallions. Basically, I cut off my last little bit of the root, chopped them all up just to kind of make things easier. I don't know, it was probably roughly 6 stalks of the green onions or the scallions going right in. We looking good. Next thing you got, teaspoon of cinnamon right in. We got a small yellow onion. Just chopped it up a little bit to help break it down. Going right in. Basically, this is about a bulb of garlic. I was looking for about 8 cloves, which is about the whole thing. Smashed it, took my skin off. They're still whole pretty much. The mixer will do all the work. It's going right in. The last thing that I'm about to be throwing in here is gonna be my fresh thyme. And I can smell that from here. I'm just gonna break this in half and I'm tossing this right in here. I'm gonna get my last little bit of extras, and then basically I'm gonna go ahead and blend this down. You can make this as thin as you want. If you wanna make this very thin, you go ahead and mix it all the way down till it's very watery. A lot of people like leaving it a little bit more chunky. I'm gonna try to find somewhere in between. And if you feel like it's too chunky, you could easily add a little bit more vinegar or add a little bit more oil to it to kind of thin it more out. Even some people even add water. So I'm about to break this. I'm about to go pause that, and I'm gonna bring you back so you can see what it looks like. All right, team, we made this thing home. So throw this stuff in a mason jar, and let me tell you, you know the mason jars are the preservatives of kings. This will hold in your refrigerator for at least a couple weeks. Some people believe even more, even though I would always like some of this stuff fresh. But you can make a little bit extra like I did today, and then you can do more than just that. The one thing that I did do when I was off camera, as you might see, and I only did it to my leg quarters. Basically, I went ahead and sliced down to the bone in a few spots, just to help that marinating process and some of that to go ahead and go deep inside of there. I didn't do that to the breast because the breast already don't have a lot of fat or on them on the first place. And if I went ahead and put those slits in the breast, while it would get marinated well, when I go to cook it, it would just dry up so quick and it would probably get done so fast. So with those cuts in there, being deeply scored, that's gonna help it marinate in there a little bit deeper all the way to the bone. It'll also help that dark meat cook just about the same time as the white meat. So all I'm gonna do from there, and remember, you don't want to use your dirty spoon or anything on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour this out. I'm gonna pour a good amount onto this chicken. That actually, let's get a little more. There we go. That looks pretty decent. And then from there, I'm gonna slip my glove on. And then we're just gonna marinate this thing. I wanna rub it all in between each one of these cuts and all through and across all of this chicken until we get it deeply marinated and all of this good sauce. So in each one of these cracks and crevices on the wing, or I mean on the breast, I'll make sure I lift that wing up and get all up under there. I'm about to mix all of this up real good. I'll let you see what it looks like before we put it in the bed, in the refrigerator for 24 hours, and I'll bring you back tomorrow and we will start the jerking process. All right, so now you've seen what we had to do to get that chicken up to par. I already got it out the fridge. It's coming up. I'll let you see that in a minute. First thing we want to do is talk through this process. Now, initially, I was going to do this on my Weber kettle. Only problem was, this is something that you want to do low and slow. If you want to say that, it's going to be tough to do that out here in today's heat. I think my starting point on my grill was at like 150, and believe it or not, we actually going to do this directly above the fire in the grate. So we're going to have some challenges, but I think I got something for it. But I didn't want to end up doing it on the Weber. I figured that might be too close to the actual flame. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and use the Lone Star. I'm going right above the actual grate. That's going to be at least far enough where I shouldn't have to worry about too many flames going up there to kiss it. In a perfect world, I would love to keep this between 250 and 300 and cook this chicken nice and slow. Let the drippings come down and hit them coals and come back up and kiss it. Trust me, if I could, I would have did it Jamaican style. I would have found me some pimento wood. I would have found pimento leaves. I would have did the whole 9 yards. But pretty much the closest thing that we can do is a fruit wood, which like pecan is something that we already use. That nuttiness should bring out a lot of those earthy tones that comes in there with that marinade. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Plus, I got a little trick that we're gonna do to kind of get us a little something closer to home base. But other than that, I'm gonna bring this chicken around. I already got my grill coming up to temp. So pretty much what I wanted to do was, I started out with a lot of wood. I want to break that all the way down, let that burn out so I don't get nothing but coals. I'm going to kill that thing down as low as I can, and we're going to cook on that, and we're going to see how we get out for the results. Hold tight. All right, so here go that chicken. So you can see, and this smells amazing. I swear, there's so much flavor coming off of there. Keep in mind, with that marinade, we really didn't put much salt. I mean, we had a pinch of salt that we added in there. You had a little bit of soy sauce, but other than that, you had a bunch of different aromatics, a lot of different flavorful things. So we got a ton of flavor out of that, but we did start off with salting that chicken and adding in some of that jerk seasoning, along with a little bit more of that Jamaican allspice. So we should definitely have some flavor, and I think we're gonna be all right. So pretty much there's our chicken. It's pretty much up to close to room temp, especially now that we outside. Keep in mind, don't discard these juices out of here. We're gonna be doing something with that. We're gonna be basting the chicken along the way. Now, this is something that you need to make sure that you do, and it is key. When we take these juices out, pretty much what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take these individual pieces out. I'll shake off a little bit so there's not so much hanging off of the top. And then everything that's in here, I'm going in the kitchen and I'm gonna actually boil it. By boiling it, we're gonna kill off all that stuff from the raw chicken and make sure that we don't got no problems with salmonella or anything like that. We're gonna come back, that'll be a little bit thicker, a little more concentrated, and we'll be able to use that along the way to kind of baste this chicken. I'm coming down a little bit on temps, but then we'll be getting right over that live fire here in a second. All right, we're gonna talk some fire management. Believe it or not, I'm where I wanna be. I was trying to get in between 250 to 300, basically by keeping this thing open And I threw my thermometer in there just to kind of give me an idea of what I was looking like. You see, I'm down to a little bit of nothing. So this is what I had to do. Kind of took in some of those whole hog type instincts. Grab a shovel. Where's my shovel at? Bing. And I actually went ahead and took out some of those coals from some of that wood. And I was thinking I might be doing this anyway. Transferred it over here to my Weber. I'm going to let that kind of hang out because I had too many coals in there that was giving me too much heat. But then that way I don't have to actually put in no actual whole sticks of wood to get all that smoke and that flame up. So that's what we're going to be cooking over today. We got ourselves between 250 and 300-ish, even though it's kicking back up. Here's our secret weapon. We're going to be throwing some of these pimentos, berries directly on some of this coals right before we throw this chicken on. I've already sprayed down the grate. That's going to give us a little bit of that kiss up, give us a little bit of that pimento fire and taste. And from there, we're going to be cooking. Hey, what up team? It's Joe Mill here. I want to jump in here real quick and let you know, thanks for following along on today's cook. If you are new to the channel, take a quick second, go to that bottom right corner and make sure that you subscribe right now. Check out some of those other videos that you've already missed, as well as keep up every Sunday for a new one coming up your way. Everybody else, I appreciate y'all. We are close to 1,000 subscribers, so best believe we got to try to figure out something cool to do for that. But other than that, let's get back to this chicken. All right, we got the chicken on. I try to more or less keep it a little bit out here to the outside. You can see with those leg quarters, we kind of got them with them deep cuts in there. I probably went a little deeper than I needed to, but it's fine because all is going to get chopped in the end. Kind of keeping it on the outside so it's not too bad. Got my temps back in check. I swear we should be doing a reality show because every time we got a little something to make these things fun. We got us another dust storm or just a thunderstorm coming through. So we got a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, another good old day in AZ. Give us something to do as far as a challenge for this cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and close these down. I'm about to hit them with a splash of these pimento berries. Boop, right over the top down there. And we're gonna let this hang out for a little bit. I'll bring you back. This won't take long. We basically gonna flip this every 10 minutes or something like that. As long as I don't see my temps shoot up too much, I'm gonna close this top and we'll see what we got. All right, baby. 23 minutes in. I'm about to go check them out. Check them out, check them out. We got that fire under control. We looking good. I don't think I really want to turn yet. Oh, yes, we do. Get that nice little grill mark on there. We cooking nice, slow, and easy. It smells beautiful. Got me some char on there. I'm gonna flip these last couple. I've already boiled that marinade. Let's hit these off. Give me 1 sec. Okay. We went ahead and basted them with a little bit of that sauce. Now that, like I told you, we boiled that, so we got that all up to par. I actually still got a decent amount of little bit of paste so I can get the front side. I'm gonna go ahead and let these chill out and still not adding no more coals or anything. I'm good with my fire. I did throw some more of these pimento berries in there. Smell is good. We cooking strong. Let's roll. Man, I'm so happy at how we've been managing these temps. 268-ish, 280 something. Look at that. My char is kicking in. I haven't flipped these babies back over. I did throw a log in there since. Go ahead and just back. There we go. You see how that sauce that we put on there is just marinating in? I'm about to flip these babies back over. I checked a couple times. We're about an hour and 12 minutes in, and I didn't quite have the color I want on the front side. And I'm gonna finally throw some marinade on that too, and then I'm gonna give them a quick temp. Give me 1 sec. All right, I got them babies flipped over. Went and grabbed my pen. Ooh, get my finger out the way. Man, we looking pretty. That one I like. I want a little bit more char on that one there, but we looking pretty. Let's see where we at on temps. Okay, we getting up there. 46, 45. Remember, this side ain't even been marinated yet, so we ain't even putting nothing on these. These is the actual char look. 42-ish. See where the breast is at. They're probably a little higher. Yes, they're not done yet. I like that. I like that. 150. That's not too far. I make sure I stay away from. I'm trying to give them some char, so I got them over there by the fire. But make sure I didn't just. This is my cooler area back over here. 52. Yeah, I ain't mad at that at all. Let me glaze these up. I got them babies all basted up. We looking good. Hit them with a little of that secret weapon down there. Oh, I got a couple that fell onto it. I knocked them in there. And we're going to close this up. We don't got that much longer to go. And we'll pull this chicken up out of here. And it's an hour and 35 minutes. I don't know if we can still see that. There we go. I've lost a lot of daylight, but here we go. So I took my little wood I had going over there. I had me a fresh plank that I kind of got started. I'm tossing it on. We about to get it flaming. Check this out. Chicken's looking great. We pretty much at temp. Look at that. Look at that. So a couple things we're going to talk about real quick while this thing is about to get into a quick flame, and we're going to put together a quick little sauce. One, and I'm not going to ruin your own discovery, take a little time to learn where the whole jerk marinade come from. I tell you, it's actually a great story that kind of comes back to some slaves and a way of preserving their meat and also being able to stay low key. But overall, it came out and gave us this wonderful recipe over here from the Caribbeans. This is something beautiful. Something beautiful. I love the color that we got going here. So a lot of the secret to making this come out right is this whole jerking process, which is actually cooking it over these live flames, or not flames, these live coals, and being able to let this slowly cook, slowly go ahead and render, and then let some of that chicken fat drop down there and actually be able to come back up. There's my flame. I saw one pop up for a second. And letting that fat drop down there and come back and give you a little bit of flame to come up and kiss that meat and give you that flavor. Like I said in the beginning, normally you cooking over some pimento wood and pimento leaves to give you even more flavors. We kind of try to mimic that by adding those pimento seeds in and everything, and being able to use the fruit wood that we had available, being pecan. But at the end of the day, I can already tell you this chicken is looking great. We pretty much where we want to be. I want to get it at some high temp just to give me some quick sear off. I'm going to get me a quick little sauce that I'm going to put together, and it's going to be super easy. Basically, all I'm going to do is, and you can take whatever your favorite sauce is. I got some Sweet Baby Ray's. Woo. Hello. All right. I got some Sweet Baby Ray's here. Just something that's general. I got a little bit of that wet marinade that we put together. I'm gonna add a little bit of that Sweet Baby Ray's to that marinade there. Mix that up, and I think I'm gonna leave that on the side, even though I could definitely brush it on. I'm gonna give these a quick flip and play with them over this fire until we get to temp, and we're gonna pull these off and see what we can got. Check these babies out. These looking so good. So as much as I thought about going ahead and hitting them with that barbecue sauce, I'm gonna actually leave that on the side, and I decided to do something much better. Let's go ahead and hit this red stripe. We're gonna give these babies just a little bit of a marinade spritz before I give them a flip. Give them a little bit of this Jamaican beer on there. There we go. And now we can be able to say we did this right. And you already know where the rest of this is going. One time. All right, flip them babies over after you saw we gave it that spritz. Now I'm about to hit it again with the same game on the other side. That'll also keep my flame down just a little bit so it don't get too crazy on me. I'm gonna let that skin side down, get a second. We'll temp these babies. They should be about home by the end, and we're gonna go ahead and get them off. Give me about 5 minutes. Let me close this up for this flame kiss too much. There we go. Check that out. Man, I want these to be done because they look just like I want them to look. Can you see that little reddish color? That's what we was looking for. That's what we was looking for with that whole jerking process and taking it nice and slow. I mean, at this point, I'm over an hour and a half on this cooking process out here in 100-degree heat. When I started off, before I put a fire in here, I was at 150. I'm happy with this. You just saw your boy grow today. I don't know if you know, but this right here was a new thing as far as being able to shovel out some coals, bring in some coals, and all that good stuff. This is fun to kind of test out them skills and see what you got. We still got some ways to go. I got 20 degrees to go over here on this breast. Ooh, it's hot. Okay, so we got about another 20 degrees to go. I feel like I almost hit the bone. I felt that. Let me try right here. Yeah, we got a little bit longer to go. Let me hurry up and close this off. I use, and I've already went through one of them. I'm about to open another one of them red stripes, and I'm gonna knock this flame down a little bit so I don't kiss them too much, and I'm gonna let these keep on hanging out. We looking good, and I'm gonna also give them a spritz of that red stripe one more time over the top, just to make sure we don't dry out too much. And into the star of the show, check out my jerk chicken. This is Killer Miller style right here. We did follow a lot of traditional methods, but I'm not going to say this traditional style. This is Killer Miller style right here. We got that barbecue sauce that we made that, let me tell you, is absolutely fire. I got me a red stripe, just a little something for Pitmaster privilege. That's going to be all for daddy. And then other than that, let me quickly say these Thermopros did exactly what I need. I had one of these running on my grate the whole time to give me an idea when I was going to have any flare-ups or anything. Did exactly what I need. For that jerk to actually jerk, I got to stay somewhere between 250, 300, something like that. We want to make that a slow cook to really get that thing done and to get it all the way home. And this thing did absolutely amazing at keeping me honest. And then obviously, like always, Trusty got me on the end. So I'm about to chop some of this up. We're going to put it in some aluminum foil, kind of traditional style. And let's get a taste. All right, team. We got that thing done. It's been roughly 2.5 hours that it took for us to get that whole cook done, and I can't even tell you. I am so proud of myself. I'm gonna give my own self a pat on the back. To be able to knock that cook out, I wanted so bad to be able to stay more or less in between 250 and 300. I got a little over that every once in a while, but for the most part, we stayed there the whole time. To be able to do that directly over the fire over there on that Lone Star when it was 100 degrees today and it was 150 before I put a fire in there, I'm happy. It was fun to kind of play around with the shovel and everything. Shout out to old Rasheed Phillips, man. Felt like I was actually doing something like I was on Pitmasters or something like that. But we got this thing done. Let's go ahead and get a taste. Come on in here close. I'm gonna start with some of this dark meat. If you can't see, we got a beautiful looking char on all of these pieces. I'm gonna get this one out the way. We're gonna try to do this kind of traditional style, which is they would normally go ahead and chop all of this up, and then you would get this kind of more or less in a aluminum foil thing. So I got me some aluminum foil, even though it won't take that long. I won't go too hard on that chop because the last thing I want is all my meat to end up on the floor. So I'm just gonna go with an old muscle chop. And I don't got the sharpest knife in the world, but we getting there. Turn that thing to the side just a little bit. Oh yeah, tenderoni. I don't even need to, it fell right off the bone on that. Wow, that's what you get, okay? So then I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna act like we still in Montego Bay. Wow, I'm gonna toss that right over there. Whew. All right, this is what we got. So now, here come the best part. I get to finally taste this, all right? So I'm gonna grab me a nice piece. I like this one right here. As you can see, it's nice and white. We looking pretty. See a little pink in there, a little smoke ring. I like that. Make sure I get that little bit of gristle out of there so I can really go to town. And I want mine with a little bit of this jerk barbecue sauce, which was so easy, and I already tasted this. This is great. Nothing but that Sweet Baby Ray's and a little bit of that initial wet marinade that we have. All right, let's go. Wait, before I forget everything and I get this first taste, shouts out for y'all holding on this long. Joe Mill here with Killer Miller Q, and always Black Smoke Barbecue. We got big things coming. Hold tight. Let's taste this. That barbecue sauce, that's finishing it right there. I almost wish that I would have took a couple of these and went ahead and basted it with that barbecue sauce, but I didn't want to take the chance on something burning up my pretty little char that I got going on. So at the end of the day, I have no problem dipping in, but that tastes amazing. Let me tell you something. We're doing this every week. This jerk chicken has came out to be absolutely fabulous. As you see me still digging in, I'm just gonna tear me off another little piece. There's no way I can recapture what I got over there in Jamaica. But for what it's worth, we did a little something in this backyard. I'll catch y'all next week. Peace. Cut it.